Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to containerize your Spring Boot application. And before we start, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Jasper. I'm a full stack developer. I make videos on full stack technologies such as Angular and Spring Boot. So if you find yourself that are interested in one of these topics, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button for me and turn the bell next to it. Without further ado, let's jump right into today's topic. Here, I have already opened a simple Spring Boot application in my IntelliJ. And as can be seen here, it really doesn't have many things. Here is just a simple main class, and I have a simple controller, which basically just return a very simple message saying Docker demo application is up and running, cheers. So if we head over to POM XML, and you literally can find out that yes, I don't have pretty much any dependency besides Spring Boot Starter Web, Spring Boot Starter Test. And because today's topic is not really about how to use a specific feature of Spring Boot, but rather focus on how can we containerize a Spring Boot application. So I think this project itself is complicated enough for that purpose. Now, if I just simply run this application, let's just first observe what's the behavior of this application. So now if I head over to browser and I hit my localhost port 8080, yeah, so now I can see the message that I just showed you in my controller class, right? So the goal of today's video is that we want to run the application inside a container, and when we hit a specific URL, it should return us this message as well. Now let's head over to IntelliJ and stop the application. Okay, so next, let me fire up my terminal. And I am in this folder where I have this application stored. So the first way I want to show you guys is very simple. It's actually powered by the Spring Boot Maven plugin that we have specified in the POM XML. So it basically uses a tool called BuildPacks. So if you look at this website, it's literally this website, buildpacks.io. So now let's head back to terminal, and then let's use the first way to containerize our application. So it's literally just one single command. So we do maven, then we write Spring Boot, then colon, then build image. Let's hit enter. Just wait for this to finish. Okay, so here as can be seen, the build is successful, and the image that was built is called a Docker demo, and it has a version of 0.0.1 snapshot. So if we run this command docker images, then you will find the newly built image here. Okay, if we check if there's any container that's currently running, there's none. Okay, so now next thing let's try to do is to run a container using this image. So let's do docker run, then let's give it a name. So if you don't give a name, that's fine. This is optional, but then you essentially will just let Docker to choose an arbitrary name, which I don't really like because I want to make the name more meaningful. So let's call it Docker demo. Then we need to expose a port on our host, which maps to the port 8080 inside the container. So let's try to use 8083, then 8080. So the first number before the colon is the port on your system, which is on the host. And the second number is the port number for the container, which is basically where your application is listening to request. And then we need to specify the image. So we can write docker demo 0.0.1 snapshot. Then let's hit enter. And as can be seen here, the application is started. Now let's head back to our browser, and if I just simply hit refresh, it won't work because on our system as a host, we have nothing running on the port 8080. However, if we change this to 8083, you will again see this message because now we're technically making a request to the application that's running inside the container, and this is the response of our application that returned us. Okay, so this is the first way. Okay, which is very simple. So now I want to show you guys the second way of containerize your application. Before we do that though, let's delete the old image. So let's do docker remove docker demo. Okay, then let's also remove the images so that we can start clean. So we can use the image ID. Then we can delete this as well. Then let's delete the last one. Docker RMI. Okay, cool. So now if we check the images, we have nothing. If we check the containers, we have nothing. Okay, so let's move on. So the second way of containerize your application is through a traditional Docker file. Okay, so here I have a Docker file already created. It's very simple. All it does is, define a base image, which is an image that has the JDK version of 11. Then I'm telling the container to expose port 8080. And next line, basically copying the package jar into the container itself. And the last line is basically just telling my container upon launch run this command, right? Which is the Java command, and I give it the path to the application that we just built. So let's head over to terminal. Then let's do maven clean package to create this jar that we need. Then if we do ls target, then we'll see that now under this directory we have the jar that we need, which is the same jar that we specified here. Okay. Now let's head back to the terminal. Then this, we need to explicitly use the docker command, docker build. So let's do docker build. Then we'll give it the tag. Tag is basically just the name of the image. So you can call it whatever you want. For me, I'm just going to call it demo latest. Then put a dot, which is the current path, because Dockerfile is under the current path. Then let's hit enter, and this is basically just building the image for us. And now you can see here, I successfully built an image with the name demo latest. And if we run Docker images, the output basically proves that, okay, because it's newly created 9 seconds ago. And now let's run this application. It should give us the same result as the first way. So again, docker run, then let's give a name. I'm just going to call it demo. Then let's again expose a port. So this time I'm going to choose a different port. How about we expose 7878 on our host, which maps to the port 8080 inside the container. Then we need to specify the image name, which is demo latest. And then hit enter, and this should bring up the application for us. Okay, so here, as can be seen, the application is started. Now let's head back to our browser, refresh this page. Now it should be broken, right? Because we no longer map port 8083, now we map port 7878. So let's hit here. And then again, yes, we got the message that we are looking for. So this proves that our application again worked inside the container. So these are the two ways that I want to show you guys today how you can containerize your own Spring Boot application. And just a side note, so the big difference that I want you guys to take away is using the first way, you basically are running your Spring Boot application as an exploded jar. Whereas using the second way, the Docker file, you basically are running your application inside a container as a fat jar. And we all know that using exploded jar is slightly faster because your JVM doesn't need to read the compressed data, then decompress it, then load it into memory, right? But the overhead should be minimal, so you can use whichever way you want. But I generally just use the first way because it's literally just one simple line, and I don't have to type the docker command at all. So I can just do this, then it will build the image for me. So I hope today's video really helped you to understand how you can containerize your application in different ways. If you have any questions, please make sure that you drop me a comment in the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn the bell next to it so that you don't miss out any one of my new weekly posts. And that's it for today. I will see you guys next week. Bye for now.